There we go. There we go. How's everybody doing? Tuesday night. Sorry for obviously the schedule change, but I literally just walked through the door. So we'll get into it. How's everybody doing? Give me one sec here. Let me. There we go. Cool. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Let's dive into it. So quick little preface. You guys can probably see that I've been a little bit quiet the last like 2 weeks in the chats. And honestly, it's because I made the decision that I just wasn't going to trade a lot in the month of September. The last 3 years, September has been just really, really crappy price action for me. So if something really does look good, I'll take it. But this is something that I've back tested, something that I've lived through, something that I've journaled, and September just isn't it for me. So, I take that with a little bit of grain of salt, and I kind of augment my trading plan around September. So we'll dive into it. Let's see. Oh, cool. 1:30 a.m. Well, so now you guys know when I when I get up for a London session every now and then, it's 3 o'clock in the morning for me after going to bed at like midnight. So, but yeah, let's dive into it. Give me 1 second here. Let me hold on. Let's do it, man. So we'll kind of go through some of the stuff that I've got on my radar as soon as I can open up some of this stuff. Like I'll tell you, I literally walked in the door as soon as I popped this on. So bear with me. There we go. All right. So let me get that pushed over here. All right. Yeah. I'm sure you guys have looked, right? Newsworthy. There's nothing. It's a lot of just BS speakers. That's all that this shenanigans is. It's not until Friday that we really get anything that's going to be moving the market. But diving into TradingView, let's do this here. All right. Let's just see. I'm going to kind of go through my list of everything that I'm kind of still holding, everything that I'm still looking for potential re-entries, and we'll just go down the list. If you guys have something that isn't on this list, or maybe you have a different approach or look at, we'll take a look at it. All right. I'm open up to all opinions here. So, and then we'll go from there. I will say that, for the most part, I'm pretty happy that a lot of you guys are finding success. I'm glad that I've been able to curb just a little bit of, that learning curve, or that, if I could shed a day off of somebody's learning, just by having someone watch one of the videos or one of the approaches that I take to the market. I mean, that's kind of my success. Ultimately I wish I had somebody 3.5 years ago when I first got into this that had the same kind of, ideology and trading management that I do now, because that would have been something that would have saved me probably about 1.5 years worth of failures and, trading retail, trading patterns, trading harmonics, all that stuff. So all good though. So let's dive into AU, right? So AU top-down analysis, right? On the higher time frame, we are bullish, right? Higher time frame, we are bullish. From an intraday perspective, we still are bullish, right? We've maintained this low. And then from a lower time frame perspective, we have essentially traded above this high, this distribution into the redistro that caused this low. We've traded above that, right? So, the two areas I wanted to see us trade out of were these 2 points of interest right here. All right. And you can see what we have going on. It's just a massive accumulation. And inside of this massive accumulation, I was really just hoping for, you could see my alert right here, crossing spring. I was really hoping that we were going to get a flipping spring, and we didn't today. So not much that I was looking, or that I'm going to be looking for any trades. You could see during New York session, we did accumulate pretty nicely. but we never truly invalidated any of supply. So supply is sitting here, right? Supply is what caused this low. And then we've just been trading order flow in between there. All right. I am holding a buy from down here. I got in off of this accumulation right here, and it's at break even. And, I took some partials when we crossed this high up here, but I'm continuing just to wait for either a spring and then we break structure, and then I'll take a mitigation to go higher, or I need now price to make a new high, invalidate supply, and then I'll take the mitigation of that to go. All right. That's kind of what I'm looking for AU. Can this go lower? Absolutely. It can come lower. I don't know. I don't think it gave an entry. No, it didn't give an entry, or at least an entry that I would have taken. Did it come into, let's see, what is that, like the 5 minute? No, maybe like let's see, the 10. What candle would this be? So we're talking, there it goes, 7 all day long. So did it come into the open of the 7 minute candle? Yeah, it did, right? Yes, it did. I typically like to see it at least come into 50%, because off that 7 minute, we're talking with your spread, depending on what your spread on AU, my spread on AU is typically like 0.6 to 1 full pip. We're talking a 10 pip spread. So I'll tell you, like, I probably wouldn't have taken this, but I do for the future. I'm just going to highlight this here, that this is 50% of the 7 minutes. So I have it on my radar. And it looks like it did come perfectly into the 80% of this 12 minute over to the left. So, but we do have an accumulation, absolutely. I do like the accumulation in this price area. We have, right, we have our 1, 2, 3, 4 drives, and we have our spring, which is that 7 minute candle. And then does price trade above and give us that break of structure? Because this is our low. This is that previous low. So this was the structure point that I needed. Does it do it? Absolutely. Does it trade into the open? It does. And then you can ultimately see the reaccumulation that occurs in here on like a 1 minute time frame, right? We could see the reaccumulation right in here. This is your attempted distribution. Here's your creek. This is that shakeout, that 1 drive, 2 drives that comes in and mitigates this 7 minute candle. But again, unfortunately, it just wasn't something that I wanted to play. And this came in late. This came in at 3:50 p.m. Eastern time, which is an hour and 10 minutes before the market closes. So from a session time perspective, not something I was going to play, but I don't need to take this entry here, right? Because if we look at it from the higher time frame bias, right? If I miss this entry, no biggie, right? And we can see that we came in perfectly into, what is that, like maybe the hour candle? It really doesn't matter, but we came in right at the 80% of it, right into the 80% of this price action. So, so out of this accumulation, right? Out of this accumulation that occurs here, what's my next play on AU? Let's just clean this up. My next play on AU, like I said, is pretty simple, right? I need us now to trade above here, right? I need us to make a new high. I need us to trade above this area here. And if we do that, now potentially is where I'd be able to set a limit order off of that 50% or 80% of the 7 minute candle, right? That's where I'd be looking for my next buy to go higher. So I don't necessarily need to catch this play. I'd rather catch this that confirms we're going to be seeing higher prices on AU. Does that make sense? Cool. And listen, if you guys can hear me drinking, my bad. I'm guzzling water down from yelling out today. My voice and my throat are dry as crap. So, bear with me 1 second. Sorry. Hold on. Putting my AC down. Okay, cool. Wait, let's see. Will I still use the candle if it's mitigated? Will I still use what candle? The 7-minute candle? Yeah, I'll still use that 7-minute candle. Absolutely. Yep. This 7-minute candle. Yeah. Yeah, I'll still use it. Absolutely. This is where the volume of price is right here. So is the 50% mitigated? Nope. Is the 80% mitigated? Nope. So I will. Yeah. Did we get the W? Yeah, we got the W. It honestly was a pretty easy game. It wasn't by far one of the harder teams that we've played. So it was pretty easy. Yeah, mitigate. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, it came into the open. Absolutely. So would I still use this candle? Yeah, because if this was the true mitigation, we wouldn't come below here. So I won't, I still would play out of here. This is where I'd have my limit order. Absolutely. Yep. Can I go over the Dow Jones? Yeah. We can look at US 30. I mean, I think SPX is a cleaner play, but get some honey. Yeah. I will. I got some tea that I'm going to make in a little bit. Why still use the 7-minute? Why still use it? Because for me, there's unmitigated price action down here. Yeah, I mean, here you go. This all in here is unmitigated. Everything from here to here is unmitigated. All of that price action is unmitigated. So that's why I'd still use this right here. Yep. Yeah, no, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so yeah, AU pretty self-explanatory, right? Pretty self-explanatory. That's all I'm going to be waiting on. All right, let this thing go up, break, and then I'm looking for a play lower. There's some IP and lower time frame on the 80%. So yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. The 7-minute candle is where I'm going to play, and then I mean, you can just walk it down and look. I mean, you've got imbalance on the 6-minute right here at the 50%. You've got, the 5-minute candle, which kind of coincides in that price area. You've got the 4-minute, look at that 4-minute candle with imbalance in there. You've got the 3-minute candle, same imbalance around that 50 and 80. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's reason for price to come back down in this area. So that's what I would be looking for. Okay. Looking at CAJ. So I've been bearish on CAJ. CAJ is a little punk. I'll tell you that. So I was, if we go back over here, right? I was looking. So I had a limit order set off of this 5-minute candle, right? This is where I caught a bunch of moves out of here, right? You had the same play, had the same play, had the same play on what? On CAJ? Yeah. So, obviously I caught this entry here back in whenever this was. I know it was beginning of August. I caught this entry right here out of this micro distribution. But I was looking at coming into this 5-minute candle, and I had the 50% and the 80% lined up on it. This thing missed my order by, I don't even know. I think it was like 1 full pip last night. Yeah, 1 pip it missed it by. So it is what it is. I am now looking for play outside of this distribution. Is it on this? Yeah, so I'm looking at the 17-minute candle. That's what I want to play out of this Frankfurt sweep right here. The 17-minute candle is where I'm going to be looking to play. You can see that we have essentially broken order flow, right? We came in, we broke below Asian price action. Now, I would have liked to invalidate all of this here, but I'm still willing to take an entry out of that 17-minute candle. And I think I've got it marked up on this one over here. Hold on. Yeah, so this is kind of what I'm looking. So the 17-minute as well as like the 4-minute, I like that 4-minute candle in here. So I'm looking to play out of that. I was looking to take a play this morning out of it. I had a limit order set. We just didn't come high enough. We came into here and then sold off. So, CAJ for me is something I'm going to be watching that London crossover into New York session. Yeah, it is what it is, no biggie. Overall from, I can tell you that CAJ has been a really decent play over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, probably like the last 6 weeks. CAJ has been a really, really nice play. And you can just see what we've been doing, right? I mean, when we broke, let's go to the 4-hour. So when we broke our intraday time frame BOS here, this is still what's maintaining intraday. And as we were walking this down on a lower time frame, right, this is what's maintaining lower time frame. So when price did all of this was just order flow. So we came into the extreme that I've been waiting on since the middle of August. Took 6 weeks for it to come back, and now I'm looking to play and make a new low with it. Yeah, I had a limit order. Yeah, I mean, those of you guys that have been on the call, or it was like 2 weeks ago, I said I had a limit order on that 5-minute. I've been saying I've had that limit order since we left that price area, and I left it on, especially after we broke this low. So yeah, yep. So that's CAJ. Nothing more to say. It needs to respect. It needs to respect this high right here, because at this point, this was the mitigation of that price action. So CAJ is good to go for me. Obviously I'm going to be taking partials going down. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So will I throw on here? I've had the limit on since this morning. So yeah. No, I didn't miss Chef JPY, bro. I didn't miss Chef JPY. You're out of your mind if I miss Chef. You guys know Chef JPY is my favorite pair. So I've been in this thing here since down here. So yeah. Yeah, we'll recap. I mean, I did a full back test on this, I think last week with some of the guys that I trade with. But looking at Chef JPY, right? We're bullish on all time frames, right? Except for lower time frame structure at this point. And I tried when we broke this high right here, we were bullish lower time frame. So I was looking to play out of here, caught some entries, ended up breaking even. So now this is what's maintaining our intraday. This is our intraday slingshot that caused the original break right here. So when we came into this price action, this was the first attempt I was going to get into, right? So, for me, when we look back, well, what happened here? When we look at the 1 hour time frame, what do you have? Well, you have a really nice accumulation. And this is where I actually caught a really nice buy on the lower time frame. 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, and then we broke and never came back. So for me, what was this candle? And you can see it was the 2 hour candle, right? Most voluminous candle for me was the 120. And there she is right there. Most voluminous candle. So 80% of the 120, which was also the 30-minute open candle, is where I had a limit order. All right. I threw a limit order there. And if hold on, let me pull up my, give me a second here. Let me go to history. Hold on. Let's see. Trading View. Can I do a search? Yeah, Trading View. I think it'd be easier just for me to find it this way. Because I had it open yesterday. That or, all right, it's good. Hold on. Let me just go into my, otherwise, because it's not labeled like I wanted to. Let me go into my journal. So if you guys are wondering about this, hold on. If you guys are wondering about this entry here that I caught right here, that was 1.6 pips. It was, am I going to put this call on YouTube? Yeah, I'll upload it. So in my journal, and this is why I never delete anything. Let me just pull up my journal. Hold on. So charts, there's charts, journal books, cash, FJPY. So back on April 23rd, I caught an entry and I took a screenshot. So I just kind of give you guys I'll show you the screenshot. Okay, cool. All right. So the reason I took this entry, and the reason why, again, I don't throw anything out, I don't delete stuff, is, well, what happened in here, right? If I can refine my entry, if I can get lower time frame stuff, great, you know? So when we look down in this 15-minute, right, you really can't see what's going on. If you go to the 10-minute, you still can't see what's going on. I think we can get 5-minute. You really still can't see what's going on, and you're not going to be able to get anything lower than that, right? As we walk it down, the 4 minutes, the best we can do. All right. So to give you an idea, I had an entry set at a 117.545 with a stop loss at 531, right? 531, I'm sorry, at 529. Yeah, 529. That right there. So I had a stop loss right here. My entry was at 545, and it was because of this, right? Let me go to it. So back in April, I waited 150 days for this. So you can see this is the entry I caught back in April, and we had essentially, this is the spring. This is the entry I caught right here. And then, yeah, so April 25th is when I took this. You can see the imbalance sitting in this reaccumulation. So this is the last unmitigated area that price needed to come back to. So I had an entry right here at 545, which was the 30-second open candle. It's this candle right here. It's the 50% of the 30-second candle. And it's also that 15-second imbalance. So, and then my stop loss was just below this wick, which was at 531. So I ended up putting a limit order. I didn't risk much, I'll tell you right now. On my prop trading account, it was on FTMO, it was a $50 risk. That's all I threw on it. Okay, it wasn't much. On my prop trading account, that's a 200K account. I threw $125 at it. Right, but it was based off of this price action, and unless you're taking these screenshots back in April, 150 days later, you're not going to get the price action. So, yeah, you know, amazing spread. So the spread on Chef JPY on the prop firms is just under a pip sometimes. Yeah, so yeah, you know, this was a pretty good entry. And like I said, you don't have to risk much on it. Like if you put, what did I put on it? So if you put $125 on this trade, right? Where it's sitting at right now, currently it's at a 1 to like 145, I think. Hold on. It was this morning, 1 to 180. It's a 1 to 180. And I think it's like at a 1 to 30 off of the higher entry, you know, but on a $125 risk, if I was holding this full volume, which I'm not, I took partials here, right? I'd be up 22,607. So, you know, if you guys are looking, if you're trading that 200K account and you need to make 16K to get your 8% on your prop firm, you only had to risk a 1/16 of a percent. You would have passed it by a pretty good penny. All right. So you don't have to risk a lot. And I know like people always ask me like, why do I only risk so little? Because I can afford to take this trade 100 times before it hurts me. Where if you're putting a 1% risk, you only get 10 times, right? 10 times on a prop account, and then you blow your account if you get this wrong. So, you know, I mean, that's why I do it. All right. Which broker do I use? For what? For the prop accounts? So, I mean, I could tell you, I don't trade this on my personal account because on a Wanda, Chef JPY is like 5.5 pips, but I trade my prop account with it. So yeah, that's yeah. No, I can't trade this on a Wanda, man. It's like 5.5 pips. That's why I have a prop account. Yeah. Same thing like GN, I can't trade GN. GN's like 6 pip spread on a Wanda. Yeah, yeah. I typically only just trade majors and JPY crosses. I don't want to, because of leverage and like margin, and because of the spreads. House. Yeah. I mean, I'm glad they did it. Yeah. What is a prop account? A proprietary account. So I trade for essentially like a third party. Yeah. Yeah, like I trade for FTMO and I trade for TPT, the prop trading firm. Yeah, so they provide liquidity, and I just trade their broker. Yeah. What's the R to R on the smaller setup? On this one here, or the big one? But this R to R is a 1 to 80 right now, and then the other order, I think currently right now it is sitting at a 1 to 32. So yeah, so I took my first partials were right here at this high, took partials there. And then I ended up taking my second partials when we got into this price action right here, right at 120 is where I because we have this redistribution, supply is present. So I was expecting us to get at least a pullback. It doesn't look like we're getting it. I mean, this is a little over 250 pips right now. Yeah, 250 pips in profit. So you can see I've got an alert down here. If we get a pullback, I'll be looking to add some more positions. Quite honestly, my expectation is I want to see us do this. I want to see us invalidate the redistro, come back down. I do have I like an area down here. I've already screenshotted this. So if this just continues to go higher, if I have to wait another 150 days, I will. And if I do have to wait that 150 days, I'll just be waiting right here. So this is where I'm looking. It's the 30-minute candle, this bad boy right here. Inside of that, if you haven't trained your eye yet, what's inside of this 30-minute candle? It's a reaccumulation, right? It's a reaccumulation. And how do we know that? Well, just go down to that 5-minute and you'll see, right? On the 1 minute, I guarantee you this is a distribution. That's your creek. Price ends up accumulating here. This is that mitigation, and then bye-bye it goes. So if we go 1 minute, and again, like I've taken the screenshots on the 1 minute, I've taken it on the seconds time frame. So I've got it down packed. I know what I'm going to play out of. And that's this right here, right? There's your creek, there's your distro, 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, 1 drive, 2 drives, your accumulation, your break, that's your LPS right here, another reaccumulation, and off we go. So this is what I want to play. Right? This is that whole area I want to play. If we come down there, that's where I'm going to be playing. All right. Until then, it's just, I'm going to be just sitting here waving at Chef JPY, letting it go do its thing. Thought I left FTMO. Yeah, I'll tell you, man, I honestly haven't traded it as much as as TPT, because I don't trade it on Fridays because I don't want to get hemmed up where I forget to close out an order at the end of the day. And I don't trade it on Sundays and Mondays. So really, I only give myself 3 days a week to trade it. And it does become a pain in the butt because sometimes the price differences are between TPT and FTMO are different. It's just a pain flipping back and forth, back and forth. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, they'll violate your account. They won't even give you a warning. They're doing 90% payout for a scaling plan. Look into it. It's a scaling plan. So yeah. Which, yeah, that's fine for them. I really could care less though. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's Chef JPY. Yeah, the scaling plan. Yeah, I have a large account myself, so I don't care about a scaling plan. I'm just gonna, my personal account's my scaling plan. I just need an account that I can trade some of these other assets and instruments and get really tight spreads on. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. They're doing 80% instead of 70. Yeah. Prop trading is 80%, and you can have a max of 500K, where FTMO is still at the 400K. And then they'll give you every quarter, they'll give you the 25% bump. So yeah, they need to. They're losing customers left and right. So you know, I'll tell you right now, I prefer TPT because they pay me right to my PayPal account, where I have to use like a stupid, you know, like, yeah, don't get me started. But yeah, that's it is what it is. All right, so that's Chef JPY. Yeah, you could, yeah, there's no rules for TPT. So no, it's TPT. Yeah, TPT. Yeah. Yeah, it's here, hold on. It's these right here. Hold on. Where is it? Yeah, theproptrading.com. That's what it is. So just come here and that's it right there. Yep, that's them right there. So theproptrading.com. They're out of Australia. Okay. Hold on. Let me set my AC down because it's getting warm in my office. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, no, I'm done looking at other prop firms, man. I'm kind of happy with what I'm doing. So if you guys like to, yeah, you can definitely bounce around, but I'm good. Yeah. Where do you, my withdrawals, it goes to my PayPal account. Yeah, it goes to my PayPal account. All right. So EA, right? EA is one of those where, you know, I was expecting price to accumulate in this area, right? And this stupid thing did. Yeah, the challenge is it's only 8%. So yeah, you know, I wanted the accumulation in either of these two spots. We did get an accumulation. You know, at this point, I'm waiting for this distribution here to be confirmed. So, you know, essentially what I want to see, trade up here, and then I'll play the mitigation to go higher. I'm still holding a position on EA, and I was looking for a hedge sell out of these areas here. It just never gave me an entry. It never really gave me a clean distribution. I'm still holding this position here. You know, I've been holding it since July. I don't even know what it's at right now. I don't know. It's like 500 pips. Yeah, it's 500 pips. It was at one point 800 pips. You know, obviously I took partials when we did get up here. So, you know, the small order I have left is just being maintained until we can get to some, you know, to some higher pricing. Nothing about EA is telling me to close out of my buy, right? I mean, you look at it, we invalidated this redistribution here. So we now need to come higher. And, you know, I was expecting out of the trend line that we had here, I was expecting that trend line to get violated. You know, I was kind of hoping we were going to come down into this area here. We never did. So at this point here, for me, it's just a waiting game, right? You know, where can I get the best type of entry possible? And I'm not, you know, we had this accumulation here, right? We had the reaccumulation, we had a reaccumulation, and so forth and so forth. Well, out of this distribution that we started to get into here, we've just started to play order flow lower, but we haven't violated any structure. So now, in order for me to take the play, I need us to get order flow back going up in the right direction. So if we do this and we get the boof, not only is it a boof, but it's a distribution into a reaccumulation. Now I'm going to play the mitigation of it. All right. Yeah, structure is still bullish. Yep. Yeah. Is this call? No, it's not live on YouTube, man. Yeah, it's just a pain sometimes, and there's plenty. I was doing YouTube live because whatchamacallit, because we were maxing out the call, and we're not maxing the calls out anymore. So I'll just post it on YouTube, and people can watch it on YouTube when it's done. Yeah, it is too. Yeah, YouTube, when I'm doing YouTube live, people always complain that it's grainy. So when I upload it, it'll be in high definition. So yeah, Yeah. Apparently, yeah, it is what it is, man. You know, I think I'm gonna start pulling a Sam, and if it's not maxed out, I'm just not gonna record it. um, yeah, man, absolutely. Yeah, thanks. No, listen, you can you just got to keep pushing into it. You know, don't rush things. You know, yeah. So I'll tell you this, like, you know, EA again. There's nothing for me to do with EA until we do this. Like, I'm not playing order flow. I'm not, you know, you guys saw, like, I waited 150 days for Chef JPY, and I'm sitting at a 1 to 80 right on it. So instead of in that 150 days, instead of taking, you know, 21 wins and 47 losses and making, you know, 12% profit, all of that time and energy and everything, whatever that would have equated to, I'd just rather catch the 1 to 180 and, you know, in between that 150 days, do absolutely nothing with Chef JPY, which is the case. Like, I've taken a couple trades on it during that time, you know, a couple break evens, couple partials, but that's pretty much it. You missed AU, bro. You missed it. You'll have to watch the recording. You'll have to watch the recording. I'm bullish. I'll tell you that. I'm bullish on it. So, all right, let's move on. EU. So EU is EU's a little, let's break down EU, right? So EU, higher time frame, we're bullish. Okay. We are bullish, higher time frame. All right. We are, but you can't dispel the fact that we are in a potential distribution here, right? So what do we have, right? We have a climax potentially into an AR, into an ST, into an MSAL, right? So what can we expect for potentially EU's next play, right? What can we expect? If we are on a higher time frame distribution, right, like a weekly time frame, we can expect another secondary test or an upthrust, right? That's what we can expect. So even though I see this distribution is probably going to take almost a year to play out. So I'm looking for bullishness on EU, right? And outside of that, if we go to a intraday, right? Intraday, we are being respected out of this low right here, right? Because this is the accumulation that causes this move. And we never had a pullback. This was our distribution, a distribution into a redistro, and we just never made a new high. So this is what's maintaining our intraday. So we're bullish on the intraday. We're bullish on the higher time frame. And of course, I wanted us to come a little lower. We didn't. We came into the 50% of that candle. And if we look at the lower time frame, right? So if we come to lower time frame, we actually out of this distribution right here that pushed in a new low, we actually broke this by 1 pip, right? So for those that, you know, always ask, like, does a wick count? A wick counts to me, right? That's still one order that took out supply, right? If you had a sell limit at 1.18814 right here at the 80%, and your stop loss was right here, and price goes 1 pip above it, are you still in the trade? Because for me, I'm not. And if that's the case, then supply's been invalidated. Supply's taken out. So I was looking for a buy. I had a limit order set off the 9-minute candle down here. And I kid you not, those of you guys in my Discord, you guys saw, like, you know, my buy limit with the spread was right here. That was my buy limit right there. So it missed me. We were looking at this accumulation this morning. We did take a sell last week out of the redistro. This was the news candle, right? Which was the 25-minute candle, 25-minute candle, this bad boy right here. So we did take it out of the 80%, and, you know, there was just really nice distribution that occurred inside of it that we took. So I took partials when we broke this low, Asian lows. That was a 1 to 20, what is it? 1 to 26. I'm still holding the sell, but you can see we accumulated, right? We accumulated during New York. We got what I wanted to see. And now you can see I've got my alert set right up here, because what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for us to break this high. This will be actually a reaccumulation. So this will be my slingshot. And then this is the extreme down in here. So when we do that, I'll be looking for price in here or in here to go higher. So, I missed the sell because I was expecting the high to be taken, but then I backed. I gotcha. You caught EU out of the 9-minute. Yeah, I mean, I had it. It just it literally missed my limit. Yeah, it missed my limit. So of course I deleted the order. I mean, that was the mitigation. There's no reason to keep the limit on anymore. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. How much did it miss by? Hold on. Let me open up my Discord. Pull up my picture. I added it, I'll tell you right now, I have a geez, man. Hey, if you guys message me on Discord, just keep in mind, I probably get about 100 messages a day. So if I don't get back to you, like I won't name names, but there have been some people that have given me criticism as to the timely manner of which I respond to messages. So, it is what it is, man. Hold on. So yeah, here's my, here you go. Here's my, that's how much I missed it by right there. That's what I missed it by. So I think it was like 1 pipette because I think it came to 6679 and I had my limit at 6678. So that's what I missed it by. Yeah. How do you decide whether or not to twin trade? It all depends on the scenario. If I could tell you this, if I can, I will always try to go with the 50% because that'll get me in the trade. On EU, the 50% was just too big of a stop loss. And I didn't want to play that. So yeah. So it is what it is. That's what I missed it by. So all four of my orders here just got deleted because of that. So that would have been a nice little bag. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's all based off the stop loss, So all right. So EU, yeah, EU, I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for this high. That there's nothing, ain't nothing gonna happen until we break that high. Right. And then you can see we had, 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive, 4 drive, spring. And, now this is going to be the reaccumulation. So we break, this will be my slingshot area. This is the extreme. I'll be looking down in here. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting on. What happens after that high is broken? What do you mean what happened? I'm waiting for the mitigation. Yeah. Then I can take a buy. I can't take a buy until we do that. Yeah. All right. So that's kind of EU. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, all good. All good. Let's see. No, I mean there is, but you got to manually take. You either have to use an EA to take partials, or you have to manually take partials. Yeah. What's the potential? Well, if we're bullish on the lower time frame, right? At minimum, I want to take it up to here, but we're bullish on the We're bullish on the intraday, and we're expecting what? We're expecting price to make a upthrust, right? So 700 pips, right? If this is my climax to my secondary test, I'm expecting another secondary test upthrust, right? So I'm expecting us to do that. So I'm looking for the big 700. That's what I want. All right. Does that make sense? What you got, Kelly, bro? Let's see. On AU, on the 1 minute. Yeah. It's so yeah. The 7 minute candle. Yeah. I want to play that 7 minute candle. Is this the 50% of the 7 minute? If this is the 50% of the 7-minute, which I think it is, right? I think that's how you have it marked. Yeah, I think that is. I could see it here. Yeah, my bad. I could see it here. So what I would do though is this, maybe put your stop loss here below this wick right there. Put it below that wick. And that way, if it comes to the 80 and reacts off that 80, you'll have both orders in. And it'll give you just a little bit of breathing room. And if it doesn't, if it comes deeper into it, whatever, you'll take the stop on that, and then you'll get activated on this. Okay, that's how I would play it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, if I'm bullish on AU, I got to be bullish on NU, man. They're correlating assets. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. So that's what I'm waiting on EU, but nothing's going to happen until we break. Nothing's going to happen for me until we break. All right. And I'm hedged in. I got the sell in. So, if this ends up going lower, whatever, I take the buy. At this point, we're in lower time frame structure. So let's go over to GA, right? GA, you guys have known I've been bullish can be on GA since the beginning of the year. You guys know that my price target was 186 and we blasted through that thing. We are in distribution, right? We are in distribution, yet we are still bullish on structure, right? So all I'm really waiting for is I need GA to freaking make up its mind what it wants to do, right? We know that demand is sitting out of this reaccumulation here. We know that we have a distribution here. So market cycle, we had an accumulation, we had a reaccumulation, we have a distribution. So now I need price to come into an area of demand and accumulate in order for me to take this higher, right? That's essentially what I need to see. So, we do have a little bit of an accumulation in here. Nothing that I want to play out of, right? It wasn't the cleanest. So can we come lower? Absolutely. I do have an alert, and this is essentially, I boxed it in, right? Like you could see the distro here, right? You could see the redistro here. So I have an alert here. If we're going to accumulate, we're going to do it here. And if not, right, if we trade below here, I can hedge in a sell based off of supply here or here, or if we go higher and we trade above this, then I'll start looking for buys. But, I'm still holding, I don't know, I've got like 3 or 4 different orders on GA from all kinds of walks of life. I'm still holding buys from, down in this area here. I've still got buys from, I'm still holding buys from this price action down in here. So from the beginning of the year. So I'm just holding, what I got. The one order that I was in, where's she at? Yeah, this order right here is the most recent order that I'm in back in July, right? So, we'll see what happens. I wanted to see us accumulate in this area. We kind of tapped into it. Stop loss was massive, so I didn't take it. But until GA kind of tells me what the hell it wants to do, I'm just going to sit here and just watch it, admire it. Nothing really for me to play. This distribution right here, though, is something I'll play if we invalidate this, right? If we trade below it, then I'll be looking at, these 2 areas here for a potential sell. Yeah. Would you rather have a higher risk to reward in a twin trade, each with higher R to R, but with the possibility of losing one entry? Yes. In the end, you'll make more by tightening up those 2 entries and having one lose than if you had the 50 go all the way down to the bottom of your risk, if that makes sense. Okay. Am I looking at gold? I am for a sell. 1.86. So the one question I'll ask you is, what has this accumulation done? Right? for me, it hasn't done anything, right? Has it invalidated supply? Nope. Has it made a new high? Nope. So there's nothing for me to, yeah. Yep. So do I have limits on AU? No, I don't have limits on AU yet. No. So, yep. Yeah. Okay. So that's kind of what I've got on GA. It's just in limbo, just waiting. Yeah. Any issue or tips with hitting profit targets for prop firms when I use such small risk? Nope. My best month was February. I think I made 46%. My worst month, I think, was, I want to say 10.1% is what I made for the month. And that was with doing a lot of traveling for volleyball and not trading as much. So no, I mean, I'm fine with my profit targets. So if I've talked about higher time frame intraday and lower time frame, I always talk about higher time frame intraday and lower time frame. Yeah. So all right, let's go to GJ, right? So GJ, much like CADJ, I've been bearish as can be on GJ, right? I mean, we destroyed GJ here. I mean, just destroyed it. And now you can see what have we done, right? We haven't made a new low, right? Because this line down, well, this line over here, hold on, let's go to structure. We haven't made a new low, right? Because this is the low, right? But what we have done is we have distributed in a prior area of supply that has broken order flow, and that distribution has caused a new order flow low, right? So because we're bearish on the intraday and because we've maintained bearishness on the lower time frame, order flow plays are warranted for me, right? But I can only take them out of schematics. I can't take them out of limit orders. So when we look at what happened here on a higher time frame, we can see clearly a distribution, a redistribution. We were looking in here last week, right? Price didn't really give us a clean entry. And then we were looking in here, and sure enough, right in here, we have a really nice distribution. This is something I was looking at this morning, right? So we have a higher time frame distro, right? There's your UTAD into a redistro. All right. And what I was looking at, let's go over here to this other chart. What I was looking at was similar to like CADJ. You know, I'm looking at the 9-minute candle, right? Full volume candle. You should be able to see the distro play out in here, right? Multiple drives, lower time frame. There's your UTAD. We did come into the 50%. So that's why I've got the 80% marked up. You know, I'll take it out of that 80% if we come back up there. All right. But I'm looking to take this lower. Hold on. Is AJ of interest? Yeah, no. 40%. Yeah, yep. Yeah. It was February. February was a good month. Like February, I think I only lost 3 trades. And I think I had like 7 or 8 trades that went over 1 to 100. So yeah, no, February was a pretty good month. Why is that candle highlighted gray? That's my Frankfurt candle. Yeah. Yeah. Is that an indicator to help identify certain? Yeah. I mean, I don't drink the yellow snow. It's Asian session, man. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll do a 1/16 of a percent. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, yep. All right. So that's GJ. You know, GJ is pretty much, hold on. I can delete this. GJ is pretty simple. Like I'm bearish on it. I'm just waiting. You know, you can see GJ has invalidated demand reaccumulation. So we have the distribution that's invalidated demand. Now it's just a waiting game. Let this sucker come on up. So I have an alert here because this is the redistribution, essentially my slingshot that caused that. So if we get a distribution here, I'm going to be ready to pull the trigger. Right. So that's kind of what I've got on my radar for GJ. Alrighty. And you can see we came into where I wanted to play. I had a limit order set, a small one off of the 53-minute. We missed it by a little bit, but we're in the right area where I wanted to see the sells. So yeah, if it's yellow, let it mellow, bro. Yeah, absolutely, man. And then GN. So GN, same thing, man. You know, I'm bullish on GN. You know, we finally had this ridiculous, stupid. I mean, I haven't traded GN, it feels like, in forever, because we've just been sideways. And we have finally confirmed reaccumulation. So, and you can see I wanted to see an accumulation out of here, and you know, these idiots are just playing with me now because they tap my alert and then they do this shenanigans. So, you know, I'm going to be patient. You know, I'm going to see what happens. You know, we do have, right, you do have a distribution here, right? You do have a distro. You know, if we do something like that, you know, maybe I come back and I play out of something here or something down here, you know, or I just want this to come lower and I'll play out of something in here. You know, honestly, like I'm just more interested in playing a schematic at this point than a limit order, because there's nothing that's super clean. There's not a lot of confluence in GN. All right. But I'm still bullish on it. You know, you look at the higher time frame chart, you know, we do have a distribution that is here, and you can see price accumulating. So essentially, ideally, I want this just to turn into a massive reaccumulation, right? What do we do? Did this distribution do anything? Sure as heck it did. All it did was trade into our intraday slingshot, right? This is the intraday accumulation. This is the intraday reaccumulation, and we go into a distribution, right? So we've done a complete market cycle. All the distribution did, trade into demand, right? I did have a limit order off the 2-hour candle, but damn, it missed me. You know, it missed me by that much. That's where my limit order was, and that's what she missed me by. You know, I think it was like 6 pips it missed me by. So it is what it is. You know, you can't catch them all. You know, sometimes you just gotta be able to mitigate that. And from a psychological mindset perspective, I'll tell you this, like, I've come to terms with it. You know, I'm not going to take GN on a 15 pip stop. You know, I'd rather not be in the trade than be using up margin on a 0.25% every 15 pips. You know, that's how I kind of look at it. Pokemon says otherwise. All right. So CAD Chef, right? CAD Chef. I was looking, you know, obviously I wanted to sell out of this distribution up here. It was the 35-minute candle. Somebody actually brought me on to CAD Chef because I typically don't trade it. But I was looking at that candle right there. You know, we ended up coming in distributing, you know, we're in a valid distribution here. And then ultimately lower time frame, what do? During Frankfurt last night, we gave a really clean distribution, right? Gave a really clean distribution that swept the Asian highs. You know, for everybody that likes to trade Asian session, you know, congrats. But my piece is that nothing lasts in Asian. So we distributed cleanly out of it. I'm looking at the 8-minute candle, most voluminous candle, right? Most voluminous candle that I can find. That's what I want to play out of. So it's just a wait and see game for me. You know, we have, you can see the redistribution here. I like the fact that we invalidated the reaccumulation, right? Distro into your accumulation, making the new high. So we've done that. Now it's just a matter of, I want this bad boy to come back up so I can catch this sell, right? Yeah. Yep. CAD was clean. Yeah. So that's CAD CHF. You know, obviously, like, where am I taking it to? I'm just following structure, right? Structure. I mean, this thing has just, I mean, right? Just follow the red dots. Where am I taking my entry to? Well, I want to go right here. So, you know, it is a nice little, what is it from my point of entry? Let's see. It's a nice little 320 pips. You know, that's where I'm looking to take CAD CHF. All right, 8CAD. So I've been pretty bearish on 8CAD, and I was looking at price in this redistribution here. I wanted to, for me, it was the 410-minute candle was the most voluminous candle, and I wanted us to trade into 80%. Instead, price wanted only to come to the 50%, right? Only the 50. So nothing there. What's the red dots indicator called? The red dots. Yeah, bro. It's this right here, bro. It's called go here and then put your red dot on it. That's what that is. Yeah. 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 Do I ever scalp? I mean, honestly, I do, but I don't. Like, I don't prefer to scalp. Why risk? Here's my thing, right? Why risk 10 trades at 1 to 10 to catch a 10 to 100 when I can risk one trade to catch a 1 to 100 and be on the charts less? So, if this trade here costs me, let's just say on my 200K account, costs me $500, right? And let's just say from start to finish, watching the trade, marking it up, managing the trade, journaling the trade. Let's just say it takes 2 hours, right? To catch the 1 to 100. Or I can be on the charts, let's just say an hour per chart. So for 10 hours and risk, right, $5,000 to make the same amount of money. I would rather do this. That's kind of how I do it. Yeah. I mean, I do scalp it every now and then. Like I've been playing a little scalping strategy, but I mean, it's successful, but it's still at the end, you always got to go back to what are you risking? What's your risk? And, the bigger account you have, the more you start thinking about risk versus your actual profits. I don't care how much money I make. I care about how much I risk to make it. So, yeah. Okay. Which is my favorite scalp pair? Indices. Yeah, indices by far. So yeah, ACAD, we had a nice little distribution. You could see I was waiting for distros in here. This stupid thing just didn't want to do it, didn't want to do it. So I was looking in here. I was looking in this price action right here from this morning. I wanted to see this distro here. And I kind of wanted to see, because this is Asian price action this high, I wanted to see a distribution happen here. I'm still bearish on this. This isn't like one of my favorite setups for the week. And again, right, we are end of the month, end of September, end of the month. We're the end of Q3. We're also end of the banking fiscal year. So what that means is all of the institutions are required on September 30th. So in 2 days, they are required to compile all of their Form 4s and turn it in to the SEC, meaning typically all your institutional traders right now are not worrying about putting positions in. They're worrying about making sure that they don't get caught with any insider tip information, that they're not, there's nothing that can tie them to cooperation or collusion. So that's why I'm not really big into trading at the end of September, right? So ACAD, really not my favorite thing looking right now. I am short on it. I'm definitely looking for the short. But until this is still order flow, right? Until we make a new low, there's nothing to play out of up here. And it's just following order flow. So we're redistributing. I'll see if I can get something out of this area here to come lower. So what's the reason I risk 1/4%? Because I can deal with the losses on 1/4% more than if I did the 0.5%. Yeah. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. On 1/4%, right? On 1/4%, if you're trading a prop account on 1/4% risk, it would take 40 trades to lose for me to blow my account. We're on a 0.5%. It takes 20 trades. Right. So I like that. I like being able to lose 40 trades and not have to worry about getting close to a 10% loss. And on my personal account, 0.25% is a better number to swallow than 0.5% loss, especially if I do it 3-4 times in a row. So for me, my trading plan says I lose 3 trades in a row. I shut it down for the day. And at a 0.5%, that number is a little bit hard to swallow sometimes. So, yep, exactly. Yep, that's all it is. All right. Euro GBP, right? So Euro GBP, I've been bearish on Euro GBP for a while. We're maintaining structure from here. And this is our last order flow low on structure, meaning this is what's maintaining lower time frame structure, right? So I have my eyes set on the H1 candle, and what I'm waiting for is, and we potentially are going to get it tonight. What I'm waiting for is I just want to see us get into a distribution. You can kind of start to see that we are distributing. Ideally, what I want to see is right at London. I'd like to see a pop, right? Give me a UTAD, break structure. I catch the mitigation and we go down. There ain't no much to say with EG. It's that simple. I've got the 50 and 80 of that H1 candle lined up. I got my alert setting here. I would love nothing more than to wake up tomorrow morning and see us do that and break that structure point so that I can get a mitigation to go lower. Yeah, 2 to 5%. Heck no, man. I can't do that 2 to 5%. Yeah. 2 to 5%. I'll tell you, what allows me to pull the trigger on 1.5 pip stop losses all day long? The fact that I know that if I lost it 3 times, that's not even a full percent loss. And I could just keep pulling the trigger, pulling the trigger, pulling the trigger. I'll tell you, some of these people that trade 2 to 5%, they have to, because they're making 1 to 3s, right? A 1 to 3, I'll tell you right now, there's some times where I go to a 1 to 3 in the first 50 seconds of a trade. What's my stop loss on EG? So if you're going to go off the 80%, hold on. As soon as it pops up. Come on. Yeah. If you're going to go off the 80%, it is 10.4 pips off the 80%, which is why, where is she? Which is why I have the box, which is why I need a distribution, because I'm not putting no 10 pip stop loss on EG. So if I get that distribution, I'm going to take it. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with those with the educators. I honestly, I don't trade HFX stuff. For me, it's just I can't. I tried it. I can't get past the fact that I risk $1 to make 70 cents. It should be the other way around. So, yeah, yeah. But that's I'm waiting on that. What do you got here, bro? Oh, on EG. So a higher time frame. So let me ask you this. This is testing demand. This was testing the commitment of buyers. And so is this. And so is that. And so is that. Because, for me, these aren't secondary tests. I'll give you, maybe this was a change of character. Sure. Maybe this is your next secondary test inside of the weekly, because we are inside the weekly candle, right? You come over to the weekly, we are inside of it, right? We are inside of it, but ideally, I think this distribution, right? I think this distribution is a little more stronger than that accumulation, right? Because we're only in phase B of that accumulation. Like if we're looking at it, we're SC to ST, to, here's your AR. So I see that. I would be more with the mindset of maybe we get one more push down. Maybe this is what causes us to come into this area here, right? We have that, and then boom, redistribution, right? That's kind of what I'm looking at. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this, I've been following this distribution for a long time. So yeah, I'm bearish on it. We need to come down into this area here, this reaccumulation, or even this accumulation, right? That's kind of what I'm waiting on. So, you're short on IM Academy. How do you manage your emotional investment psychology when trading? How do I manage my emotion? What do you mean my emotional psychology? Like, I could tell you, you want to put emotions as far away from trading as you can. How do you remove it? Follow your trading plan. There's two keys, right? Trading plan and journal, right? Trading plan and your journal. That's how you remove it. Build consistency in your trading, and that journal is going to dictate how you build your trading plan. You build out your rules, right? Whatever your rules are. When the trade has those confirmations, put the trade in. Why am I putting the trade in? Because my journal tells me I'm pretty consistent. Those of you guys know that I've opened my journal and stuff and showed you guys, right? You guys know that if I see, right, like what's one of the things I always do, right? Like if I have on a Thursday or a Friday, right? If I have a type 1 schematic during New York session in a structure point, I don't even hesitate. I put the damn order in. Order goes in, right? I don't remember. I'd have to look at the journal again, but you guys saw, I think between this box right here, right? Between that box right there, I've made, I think 142 or 141% year to date, right? So put the order in. I don't care if I lose, right? Like I've said it before, I'm a 50% trader. I win 50% of my trades. I lose 50%, right? I don't care. I know that number right there is all I care about. I don't care about my winning percentage, right? This isn't baseball or football, right? Like the highest winning percentage goes to the playoffs. No. For me, the only thing that matters is what that payout is. So, follow the journal. The journal is the journal will lead you to the promised land, because that's going to be your best analytical data that you can get. Yeah, that's how I put it aside. And those of you guys, that when I'm looking at trades and stuff, and we're marking it up, you guys, like, it's very, very easy. Like I have scenarios, and that's the thing. Like the hard part is I just can't, I have to have the actual scenario to say, all right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put full risk, or I'm going to put partial risk, or I'm not going to take that trade because I don't like it, or I'm going to take that trade because it lines up. Yeah. Do they teach ICT concept? Yeah, some of the trade house guys do. I know that. So yeah. All right. So let's get over to GU. All right. So GU if we look at GU, right? GU has now, we're higher time frame, we're bullish, right? But we are bearish on the intraday. We've invalidated demand. We're also bearish on the lower time frame, right? We're being maintained from this. So from here, there's, obviously this distribution should be ringing doorbells for you if we ever come back into it. But I know that this right here is one of my main points of interest, right? Yes, this is our slingshot, right? But this is the entire play, right? When we look at lower time frame structure, we have a distribution. Then we have a distribution here, right? That creates this low. So I've got my eyes set up in here for GU. I'm looking for the shorts. My, what was it? The 1 hour candle, I think. Yeah. 1 hour candle. Yeah. So the 1 hour candle is what I'm looking at, right? This is the slingshot. So I would require a schematic in this area. I'm really not interested in taking anything out of here, right? Even though that this is a redistro, I would rather play out of this area up here, so when we make our way up here, I'll be looking for lower time frame schematics to take this out of. Okay. That's how I'm going to play it. I know somebody was looking at NU. So NU, yeah, I'm bullish on NU, right? You could see the two areas that I were looking at out of this massive accumulation, this accumulation here and this reaccumulation, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Like for me, we try to accumulate, right? We've redistributed since. If we trade below this black line, right? If we trade below the black line, this area is done for me. Why do I have multiple of these things? Hold on. Oh, that's why. Okay. Yeah. So if we trade below here, then this accumulation here is where we're coming, So I'm just tomorrow morning, I'm going to wait and see and look at what NU is doing. If we start to build some accumulation, I'll take it. If not, I'm going to be looking lower. Okay. That's what I have on that. UChef, I'm bullish on UChef, right? At this point here, this is now what's maintaining intraday. This limit order has been set since the beginning of August. I was looking from a lower time frame schematic. You can see I was looking here. So out of this schematic here, yeah, out of this schematic here, this actually stopped me out. It stopped me out to the T and then just took off for a little ride. This was during news. At this point here, you can just see the massive accumulation, right? We come up to like a 30-minute and we are in an accumulation, right? Here's your accumulation. There's nothing for me to do until we make a new high, because could we still come lower into, better pricing? Absolutely. I had an area here originally that just missed where I wanted to buy from. So UChef, and again, this is what happens when you're in September. You get these little ugly price action. The reason price isn't coming to exactly where I want it to go, there's no liquidity in the market. You look at the COT reports, open interest, liquidity has fallen off. They're not throwing that information, or they're not throwing their liquidity into the market because they're trying to finish all of their paperwork. They're trying to finish all their regulated documents that they have to submit. So it is what it is, nothing I can do about it. But I'm bullish on UChef, bullish on UJ, right? UJ is a little punk. I've been waiting on UJ down here. Had limit orders down here. We had equal lows. It's still possible that we'll get it. I was also looking to see if we can come down into the intraday, and we haven't. So at this point, I'm waiting to see, we're at the point where we're going to make a new high, which sounds good. Let it make a new high. And then I'm just going to wait for the pullback. As soon as this happens, right? As soon as this happens, I have a limit order here. That limit order all day long will be in. And I'm personally going to be taking it out of the 14-minute is where my limit order is going to be. This candle. Yeah, this candle right here. So that 14-minute candle is where I'm going to be playing. You can see the accumulation that happens in here. Like we go down to a 5-minute, you can see the accumulation that plays out. This is the shakeout that happens at New York Stock Market Open, 9:30 a.m. It's the equities open candle. So this is what essentially needs to be mitigated out of. And we do have the 4-hour candle, which is the most voluminous candle in that entire thing, right? So I have an alert here because if we do come into the 80% of it, I'm going to play a schematic, but I'm not going to be putting a limit order on a 13.7 pip stop. So we come in there, I'll play a schematic, but that candle right there for me is the big one. That's where I'm going to be playing, so we have reason to, there we go. We have reason for UJ to come back down into this area. And you can see this, you can see the accumulation, right? You can see price accumulating here, 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drive. We broke structure. We reaccumulated, right? It's a failed distribution. So now what I want to see is I want to see price distribute up here and come on down. And I'm going to have that limit order set. All right. So that's UJ. That's what I got on there. Gold, right? We'll talk about gold. I've been bearish on gold, bearish on silver. It's a shame that gold just hasn't given me any damn entries. We come over here and we never got a mitigation out of this. I was looking out of the redistribution out of this 30-minute candle. Price never came back up. So now, I'm going to give it one more shot out of this wick. Right. If we can come back into this wick here, that's essentially where I'm going to play out of this right here. So you sold at 1034 today. You sold at 1034. 1034. What's 1034? Oh, okay. Yeah, 1034, man. That's police code for disturbance, bro. At Central Time. So what made you sell at 10:34? So that would have been 11:34 a.m. Yeah, but what made you sell? No drawdown. So 10:34. Wait, you sold at 10:34? You sold at 10:34. So you sold at 11:30, which is right here. You sold right here. The fact that we didn't close above failed. The fact that we. Okay. Yeah, but it looks like you're going to hit break even pretty soon. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Share your chart. I'll kind of give it a look. I'll see maybe. Yeah, for me, there's like, I typically don't like to sell from discounted pricing. I like to sell from up here. Yeah, I'm not interested in selling from down here. You partialed out 1% already. So you partialed out. What was your risk on it? Yeah, what was your risk? No. How much did you risk? If you made 1%, how much did you risk? No. How much money did you risk? Not 250 bucks. So okay. So you risked 0.25%. So you made a 1 to 4 is what you're saying. Yeah, you made a 1 to 4. Yeah. So, I mean, if it works for you, great. Me, like I said, for me, I need a minimum of a 1 to 10 for me to even encounter or attempt to throw the money at it. This isn't where I'm waiting. On gold, I'm waiting up here. This is an accumulation. I'm waiting out of the redistribution, and you can see what happened here. We have equal highs left up in this area here. So I'm pretty confident that this redistribution is going to get taken. And this is where I want to play. I want to play out of this right up here. This thing, that's why I got my alert set here. I want to play out of this right in here. So we'll see. 1782 is kind of what I got my eyes on. Am I writing with a pen? No, I got my mouse. Yeah, I'm using a mouse, bro. Yeah, I only write with the pen when I'm on the iPad. Yeah. So, yeah, like for me, for gold, it's just one of those that it hasn't given me the entry I wanted. You know, this was the entry I wanted. We just never got it. But this distribution that occurred here is where I got my eye set. I've got my alert down here. And if we come into this area right here, that's where I'm playing, right here. That's where I'm playing. So I'm just going to be patient. I'll wait on gold. I'm bearish as can be on it though, man. You know, like I'm waiting. I've been bearish on gold ever since that January entry way the heck up here, right? So I'm expecting us to make a new low. I'm expecting us to trade into like the 1500s. That's what I want us to take it into. No, it's just my mouse. Yeah, it's my little mouse. Yeah. Yeah. And the same thing, like again, if you look at silver, right? I mean, silver all day long is bearish as can be. And I'm just waiting for this low to get taken. You know, I had a play. I don't even know when we were looking. I know Thomas is the one that really brought, you know, we kind of dove into it here. I was looking at the 72-minute back from July. And that was the last time I tried to sell silver. But from a higher time frame perspective, I mean, yeah, I mean, shoot, we got to come, you know, we got to come back into this right here. So we come back into this area right here. This is, I mean, obviously this is where I'm buying more physical silver, but I mean, I want to see us just keep walking down. So, let's see, the charts look dirty. Can I ask, what is that yellow indicator? The yellow indicator, it's Asian session price action. Yeah. And my EU bias, bullish, bro. Bullish. Yeah. Bro, you gotta be, man. You gotta be quick with the mouse, you know. If you know, it's you know, like think of it like a surgeon's gotta be a surgeon's gotta be very swift with his scalpel. Man, I'm a surgeon on the chart, so I gotta be very swift with my mouse. You know, you know, you spend enough time doing charts and everything with it, you get pretty quick with it. Where do you see gold and silver long-term heading? Well, all-time highs, man. Yeah, all-time highs. You know, I'm you know, obviously I want silver get up past 50. So, I mean, from a higher time frame perspective, what are we here? Let me hide the charts, right? Knowing what you know about market cycle, we have a accumulation with the spring, right? Spring into looking like a distribution, right? But that distribution, right, turns into what? A reaccumulation after breaking this high. And I'd want that to be the cause of this new high where we can then distribute to come lower and continue the market cycle. So that's why I'm buying physical silver right here, you know, and, you know, for, you know, all intents and purposes, you know, I feel like the dollar, it is a good hedge against the dollar, right? I'll just say that. All right. Yeah. Yep. So that's kind of what I see going on with that. Indices, we'll talk about indices, right? So SPX for me, listen, there's no question we're bullish as can be on this stupid thing. We did have some really nice sells with SPX. You know, we caught this sell up here, which ended up giving a 1 to 143, caught that nice distro there. Ended up catching another distro out of here that gave like a 1 to 104. And I was very, very interested, or I'm still very interested in taking a sell out of this redistribution here. But you can see today's price act or yesterday's price action. I guess, yeah, this morning's price action for me, yesterday's price action for some of you. We ended up redistributing here. And what I really like is the fact that that shakeout candle, the timing that it did it at, right? If we come over here and look, this is equities open at 9:30 a.m. New York Stock Exchange right here. I like the 9-minute candle, right? I like, you know, obviously the full move, you could see 80% and 50%. That 80% of the move lines up with the 50% of that 9-minute candle. This is something I really want to see us trade into tomorrow morning. So I'd be looking for a potential entry here to take this lower. You know, I'm bullish overall on indices, but I know we can come lower, right? I know we can trade into this area right here. Okay. I ended up taking Friday. So you guys talk about like scalping and stuff. I ended up taking Friday, a nice little scalp out of, yeah, here it is right here. So Friday, the 24th. Yeah. I took a nice little, it was like a 1 to 30 real quick. It was on the 15th. Yeah, here it is right here. Nice little 15-second right at coming into market open. I took this entry 50% of the spring, and all I did was just take it up to Asian highs. So I took it up to these highs right here. So it was a nice little clean little move coming into equities open. I typically like to scalp the indices because they give really tight entries. This was like a 1.4 points. What was it? Yeah, 1.4. So it was 1.4 point stop, right? Which equates to 14 pips for you guys IM people, right? 14 pips, because, you know, when they talk about like you caught 40 points on SPX, they're like 400 pips, you know. Yeah, it was 14 pip stop loss, which was pretty tight, especially, you know, I typically like to have under 5. So this was a nice little entry on SPX. Can you look at this for NAS? So where are we? Is this current price action? If that's current price action, I mean, good luck with it. I don't trade indices outside of New York session. I mean, that's just me. For me, I have found that it's a waste. Yeah, it's a waste. So we are in you've got the same price area that I was looking at, right? I personally refuse to trade it outside of New York session, and it's a type 2 schematic. So my journal says to wait. Yeah, I would wait. Let's see, what do we do during? Okay, so we redistributed, yeah, okay. So just keep in mind this, like supply is still in control, right? You have a redistribution, essentially a redistribution with the distribution here. I'd be eager to see what happens. I'd be eager to see if we tap into this and push a low. I would also, I mean, I'm pretty confident that this is going to break this low. I'm pretty confident we're going to do it. I mean, look at this chart right here and ask yourself who is currently in control. And for me, distribution, redistro, distribution, right? This reaccumulation, the only thing holding price up is right here. So if this fails, right, and turns into a redistro, I think we're going to come down pretty hard on NASDAQ. So the one thing I will say is that this is the most logical area to look for the buy. I would wait for the confirmation. So me, ideally, what I would want to wait for is I would wait for this. So if this is how we're seeing it, right? I would wait for, here's your trading range, right? You have your climax, AR, test, test, UA, test. Let this sweep Asian, make this test and B, make that the spring, and then break structure. come back and mitigate, and that's my entry. Right? That would be my entry to go higher. That's the only way I would play this. But to main bullish price action, isn't that the low that's holding? Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, like I explained that. Yeah. This is the most logical area to look for the buy. I just think from a fundamental standpoint, I think this is coming down. I think we're going to sell off. US 30, bro. US 30. I think SPX is cleaner, bro. I mean, here's US 30. Good luck with it. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We're bearish on the lower time frame, right? We broke lower time frame structure. We've invalidated supply here. I mean, this is the only thing I would be looking at is something out of up here. This is all order flow. This to me is a mess. So SPX is what I'm trading. You know, if it ain't clean, I'm not trading it. And yeah, that's what I'd give you on US 30. You don't have much experience on SPX to enter it. How much experience you got on US 30? Like a year? Well, then if you've been trading US 30 for a year, you should have been also trading SPX because they're benchmarks. You know, they're benchmarks against each other. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing honestly, there's nothing I can tell you with US 30. I've got nothing for it. You know, this is all order flow. Where SPX is actual structure, this is all order flow. We've traded above this area. I mean, we did trade into this little measly weaselly thing here. But there's just nothing that I want to throw money at. Yeah, I'd rather throw money at SPX. How are you looking at AU now that it has already came? I'm bullish on AU, bro. Yeah. How are you looking at AU now that it has already come to the 80% during Asian? So it invalidates the redistribution. What? Oh, I'm bullish on AU. Yeah, I'm bullish on AU. So yeah. So we don't expect to. I don't expect it. I mean, it can go lower. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, it can go lower. I just for me to take it to do anything with AU, you know, we need to confirm the accumulation. So there is nothing, you know, essentially there's nothing for me to do until we, let's see, until we, yeah, I mean, I'll tell you right now, if this is Asian low, I'm pretty confident that it came right into 80% too. Look at that bastard. There's nothing for me to do until we break the high, and then I play the mitigation to come lower. But we haven't even broken structure on it. You know, that's my biggest issue with AU. So like ideally, you know, what I talked about earlier is, you know, we are in the schematic here. You know, I want us to, at this point here, I want us to come higher. And now because this is Asian price action, I would need to wait for a schematic here to take it higher. Yeah. Yep. US 300. What? Okay, wait a minute. We were talking about different pairs. What are you talking about? Different pairs. All right, hold on. Yeah. Okay. I don't play out of Asian price action. No, I don't. Yeah. Yep. No, I don't play Asian price action. Yeah, I would just yeah. Okay. We're good. Yeah. So I mean, that's pretty much everything I got on my plate. That's everything I'm looking at. For indices, yeah, I'll be looking at US or SPX sells. That's what I'm looking at, SPX sells. And, everything else is just wait and see what's on the table. I'm not going to be forcing anything this week. I'll kind of dive into stuff for next week, but yeah, I'm not going to be forcing anything. Yep, that works. That works. So anybody else have anything else that they need to cover? Anything they got to go over? If not, like I said, I've had a long day. Volleyball wore me out, so I'm ready for bed. And I'll catch it up in the morning. Yep, you got it. You got it. Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Well, that works. Well, listen, if nobody else has anything else, we will call it a night, and I will catch everybody later. Have a good one, man. See you guys.